What up, peeps? It's your girl Suki back with another video. Um, I feel weird because I don't have my glasses on, but when I had them on, it was such a glare. It was driving me crazy. So I took them off. We'll see how. Don't tell me if I look cross-eyed because I don't want to know. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I'm looking at the camera because your girl really blind. So today's video is just I wanted to show you what I'm doing for one of my classes for back to school. Baby girl, you're so fine. I can't get you off my mind. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Baby girl, don't need to flex. Dance to the rhythm and you do all the rest. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Fly me up with dreams. The only thing I need. When I'm done, lift me up with your company. There's no telling what you and me creating. We're on the same wavelength. As I told you before, I am a New York City special education high school teacher. My focus in this school has been with history. So all of the classes that I've been teaching have been within the history department. I found out about 2 weeks ago that I would be continuing with 12th grade civics and economics in both the ICT and self-contained settings, and that they're adding a U.S. history self-contained class and a global history 2 ICT class. That's a lot, but it is what it is. That is the life of a special education teacher, especially in New York City, especially in high school. In my last school, I was in every subject, literally every subject throughout the day. At least here, it's all history related. So I decided to start prepping some stuff for back to school just to get ahead of the game. I really try to stay ahead by the minimum is a week, but my goal is 2 weeks ahead during the school year because I don't like to take work home. I don't enjoy spending long hours after school doing work, and on weekends it's a dub. With 3 kids, I don't have time to spend on work, and I'm not getting paid any extra for all that extra work. So I decided to prep my back to school unit for US history. And this video, I'm just going to show you that. I have stuff for civics as well, but I didn't have to prep it because it's already done because I've been teaching civics for the past 3 years. Today is Suki from the future, and I got a message where I might be having a schedule change, and I don't know for certain, and it might be where instead of having me split across the 3 grades, I'm just down to 2 grades and I get the 10th grade global ICT and self-contained and no more US history. And if that's the case, it would kind of suck because I did purchase a curriculum on Teachers Pay Teachers, but it's not the end of the world. It's not like it will ever go to waste because you never know. Well, I never know what I'm going to teach as a sped teacher. So I won't beat myself up about it. And at least with the global stuff, if I'm doing both, I can see what the content teacher is doing with his class, and I can mirror that in my self-contained. I can just make modifications as needed. But that is a bridge we will cross in about 2 weeks when school starts. So I'm not going to stress about it. Let's take a quick look at these earrings. It says Edu Rockstar. I got these from Amazon. They came in a pack of all different kind of teacher earrings. I will actually link it down below. And then my fun shirt says I run a girl gang. I got it from an Etsy shop, and I have 3 daughters, so they're my girl gang. I hope you enjoy this video and then you get some ideas on what to do for back to school. So this is what my Google Drive looks like. And if you notice, this is my personal one, not my school one, because I really want to keep ownership over all of the materials that I either purchase or create, because even when I'm buying things off of Teachers Pay Teachers or another site, I modify them for my needs and my students. I have a folder titled Teacher Life that just consists of anything related to teaching. As you can see, I have 9 more folders inside. I really like things to be organized, so I have this assessment and data tracking, this back to school one with just some ideas in it. As you can see, it has like some welcome back slides, templates that I use. This is my civic stuff, my economic stuff, U.S. history is the new class, global history, apparently I'm teaching this year too. I don't have anything in it yet. Resources, planning, this is where I put my teacher planner that I purchased. It's digital. I have scope and sequence templates and lesson plan templates, and if you're interested in seeing those, leave a comment down below and I'll definitely record that as well. And then here I have some slides templates that I get from Slides to Go, I believe is the name of it, and one that I purchased from Genuine Teaching. We're going to start by looking at my U.S. history folder, and in here I have a curriculum that I purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers that I will modify as the year goes on. I have my Unit 0 and my Unit 1. I haven't done much yet because school has not started and it's the first time I'm teaching the course, so I don't want to go too far ahead. So Unit 0 is my Intro to US. This is my back to school folder, the things that I want to do for the first couple of weeks. As you can see, there are 6 lessons inside. Some of them take a couple of days. Let's start with lesson number 1. There you go with that template that I showed you earlier, and I'm going to give you a closer look at it. I got this template from Teachers Pay Teachers several years ago. If I can find it, I will link it. But I just like how it looks. I think it's really cute. I just give them a little information about me, and I update it each year. And then I want them to tell me about their summer, but I don't want them to do the same exact thing. That is actually a link to the second part, which is the back to school Insta style. This is another thing that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers several years ago, but I just never use it, and I decided to try it out with this class this year. We get $250 for Teacher's Choice in New York City, meaning we can spend it on various things for our classroom. So I tend to buy things that I can use for curriculum. Or I'll buy some fun activities that I can use to enhance what we're doing. So this is what the back to school Insta style. This is the student response sheet. I had to add in that instruction sheet myself. And then you just print out copies of the student response. The students will pick any 3 of the 6 that they want. And that's it for the first day. Real simple. I have a lesson flow and not a lesson plan because these are just like back to school things and I don't feel like I need a whole plan. And honestly, lesson plans are not for me, they're for admin. My preferred planning method is to build everything out on a slideshow and then just run that through as the period goes on. That 3-page lesson plan is really not intriguing to me or helpful at all, honestly. But this is another thing I got from Teachers Pay Teachers. It's back to school puzzle stations and it's really simple. It's our second day of school is on a Friday, so I wanted something light and I thought this fit the bill. So it's just a way for me to get to know them some more. I did have to modify the templates, the slideshow a little bit just to fit my needs, but they'll all get a page that looks like that background. Each section is numbered with the corresponding station that has the instructions on how to complete or how to color or add in the objects for that section. I don't really want to show you all of them because, like I said, it's something that I purchased, but I will link it down below if you are interested. But it's something light. They can just color and relax on the second day of school, and it still gives me a lot of information about them. I haven't decided if I'm doing it as a slideshow where we all go through it or if it's going to be stations as intended on here. So this is just the PDF file that comes with it, and you can post the stations around the room. On to lesson number 3, which will take at least 2 days. I'm trying to keep it 2 days actually. I have to go into PowerPoint because this presentation is actually too large to upload into my Google Drive, which I hate because I like to have everything organized, but it's okay. It's this cute presentation that runs through all these different reasons why we study history. And it comes with a student handout, and I'm going to break the slideshow in half. So we'll do the first 2 reasons. There's discussions, there's videos, all this stuff. This is the handout that goes along with it. The kids will brainstorm 10 reasons to study history. That'll be a challenge because honestly, I can't even come up with 10 reasons. But then the mind map is where we go through the reasons in the slideshow. This is an activity that I'm going to give them as homework. In my school, we are required to give homework, even though personally I'm anti-homework, but that's another story for another day. This is creating a bumper sticker, but I'm going to skip that. It's cute, but I don't think it's something I have time to do. And then this last thing we'll do as a separate lesson. So back to the slideshow. It has a ton of slides. That's why I said it's going to take 2 days to actually even look through all of this. It's a lot of videos, a lot of discussions, a lot of information. Lesson number 4 is a museum walk, aka a gallery walk. If you've never done one before, you put a bunch of posters around the room, you give students a handout that they respond to questions on or write notes on. It's the same idea. We're just calling it a museum walk for funsies. I got this from Teachers Pay Teachers. I will link it down below as well. For this museum walk, they are getting a series of 20 questions all about U.S. history. It is just to assess their prior knowledge coming in. U.S. history is something that they've studied in elementary, in middle school, and now again in high school. So it just helps me to know if I have to spend a lot of time on a certain part of history, or if we can kind of breeze through that part because most of them know it already. They're going to work in 3 rounds. In round 1, they're going to get 12 minutes to go around the room and see how many questions they can answer independently. Round 2, they're going to team up with a partner and see if they can get a few more questions answered. And the final round, if they still have unfinished questions, I'm going to let them use their devices. No phones though, because we are a yonder school, so they're not even allowed to have phones. What I like about this, there's also this teacher reflection form. So while they're doing the first round, I'm going to keep an eye on who's doing what and fill this out. This is what the response sheet looks like. Lesson number 5 is another activity that's going to take us 2 days. I have this my favorite figure in history slideshow. This slideshow template came from Slides to Go. It's free. You get 5 free downloads every month if you sign up with their website. I just find ones that I like that go with the lesson that I am trying to do, and I will download it, and then I just save the template so I can use it for future things if needed. This slideshow is a good representation of how I like my slideshows to flow as lesson plans. So I start with a title page. I always include an agenda because it helps students know what is to come. I give them the learning objective with an I can statement. Majority of my lessons start with a think, pair, share as the do now. Then I give them the mini lesson. In this case, the mini lesson is instructions for the research project that they're going to be doing. And when I say research project, it's really short, like really basic research. And they're only getting 1 class period to do it because there's not a lot that I'm asking them to look for. And then on day 2, they will take the information, these 5 points here, and use it to complete this 1-pager from the Why Do We Study History student packet that I showed you from lesson 3. Here's just a closer look at the 1-pager that I'm talking about, so they can finish this in 1 class period. All right, the last lesson in our intro unit is their baseline. It is something that I got from New Visions, which is a charter network in New York City, and they have all kind of free resources. So if you teach history, definitely check their stuff out because everything is free. You just have to fill out the form to be added to their Google Drive. So here I do have a lesson plan page or doc, but I haven't filled it out yet, but I will. Our admin generally doesn't do observations the first couple of weeks of school. You have to get your initial planning conference done first. So once I hit the baseline portion of my intro unit is when I tend to start to write the lesson plans for them, because that kind of signals like, all right, at any point they could start coming in and they're going to request the lesson plan. It's the first thing they ask for. This baseline, since it's U.S. history, is all about Columbus. It's a compare and contrast one. They get 2 documents. The first one is Columbus's diary. It's a primary source, and they read through it. There are some analysis questions on the side for them to answer. And then they would do the same thing for the second document, but the second document is a secondary source, and it is written from the perspective of someone in the Taino culture. Then on day 2, they would take the 2 documents that they've already read and analyze and do a compare and contrast long response. On this, it gives them 4 pages to write. I don't think my students will write that much, but you never know. Sometimes they surprise you. And again, this is from New Visions. I'll link it down below as well. And it's all completely free, and they have all of the history subjects for high school in New York. The next thing they have is for students who finish early, there's a student reflection, because sometimes you get those students who they write their essays in 15 minutes and they don't have anything else to write, so they can reflect on it. It comes with all of this stuff. This is for data analysis, and for us, that's really important in my school. They always request your data for your baseline. And then there's points throughout the year that we have to update the data. But this spreadsheet does everything for you. It is gray, green, and red, which is color-coded with the rubric that is also provided for you. So as you see, the gray, green, and red is here too. It's really simple. Everything's coordinated. You just enter the scores the students got for each of these things based on the rubric. And then it will spit out the percentages for you in the next spreadsheet, which is super helpful for us because they always ask for percentages on the data form that we have to fill out. And this takes out all of the guesswork, all of the math, everything is just, it's there. Okay, then they also have this teacher reflection sheet, which is another portion of our own data forms that we have to complete as well. So having it already set up makes everything easier. We just have to, or I just have to copy and paste it from here and put it into their form. And then that's the answer key that I'm not going to show you just in case a student were to actually find my channel. So that is everything that I'm going to be doing to start off the year in my U.S. history class. For my civics class, I have another set of activities. It's not the same because if this is something that I'm continuing, then that means I would have the same students in 11th and 12th grade. And I just want to make sure I'm not repeating activities and they already know all of the answers. I think I might do an extra video this week where I go through all of the things in my civics unit as well, just so you can see the differences between the two. And then I have not figured out what I'm doing for global yet. And as of today, when I'm doing this voiceover, there's a possibility that I might have a schedule change. School starts in 2 weeks, so I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm going to post this one anyway. I also keep a paper teacher planner, so if that is something that you're interested in seeing, leave a comment down below and just let me know. Thank you so much for sticking around for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope that you subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Later, peeps.
Baby girl, you're so fine. I can't get you off my mind, ooh girl. Now